What if you were told that the real path to wealth was little to do with six-figure salaries or fancy degrees and had more to do with habits that anyone can adopt? In today's video, we're breaking down the surprising truths revealed in The Millionaire Next Door, and we guarantee that by the end of the video, you'll have a whole new perspective on what it takes to become wealthy. You might even realize that the millionaire lifestyle is within your reach. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to receive more financial wisdom. Imagine you're walking down your street and one of your neighbors waves hello. Nothing about them screams wealthy. No flashy cars, no luxury brand outfits. Yet, they might be worth millions, quietly building their fortune while everyone else is chasing status symbols. Stick around to find out the one millionaire habit that you can start today to begin amassing wealth. Lesson number 1. Millionaires live below their means, and they're happy about it. When you think of a millionaire, you might picture someone living in a mansion, driving a new luxury car, and vacationing in exotic destinations. However, most millionaires live below their means, and they are perfectly content doing so. The book profiles individuals like Mr. and Mrs. North, a couple who live in an ordinary neighborhood, drive used cars, and rarely dine at fancy restaurants. Yet they've amassed a fortune of over $3 million. How? Because instead of chasing luxury, they focused on saving and investing their money wisely. The book mentions another standout example, Dr. South, a physician with an impressive income. Despite being able to afford a more lavish lifestyle, he lived in a modest home and drove a 10-year-old car. He wasn't interested in keeping up with the Joneses. He was interested in financial independence. Can you imagine walking past a millionaire every day without even realizing it? They don't wear their wealth on their sleeve, and that's precisely what makes them so effective at building it. Instead of spending their money to impress others, they use it to secure their future. Lesson number 2. Millionaires invest in financial education and planning. Here's a secret that sets millionaires apart from the rest. They don't just earn money, they plan their wealth. They invest time and resources into understanding finance, budgeting, and investing. Take the case of Mr. Friend, a small business owner profiled in the book. He wasn't born into wealth, nor did he have a particularly high-paying job. However, he meticulously tracked his finances and invested his profits back into his business and into other long-term investments. Over time, this planning made him financially independent, while many others with similar businesses struggled to stay afloat. Another example, the Hendricks, a teacher couple with moderate incomes, carefully planned their finances, focusing on saving and investing early. They took advantage of tax-deferred investments and ensured their money worked for them. When they retired, they had accumulated over $4 million, not through a high salary, but through financial education and disciplined planning. Lesson number 3. Time is the most valuable asset. Millionaires understand that time is their most valuable asset. They know that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint, and they focus on long-term strategies rather than get-rich-quick schemes. The book introduces Mr. Winger, a self-made millionaire who emphasized the importance of starting early and being consistent. He didn't chase the latest stock tips or risky ventures. Instead, he invested in long-term diversified portfolios and let compound interest do its magic over decades. By the time he reached retirement, his patience had paid off in the form of a substantial nest egg. And that's the point. Millionaires know that there is no shortcut to real wealth. They don't waste time trying to strike it rich overnight. They let time work in their favor. Later in the video, we'll talk about how this understanding of time can set you on the millionaire's path, no matter your current financial situation. Lesson number 4. Millionaires value financial independence over status. This is one of the most mind-blowing lessons from The Millionaire Next Door. Millionaires don't care about looking rich. They care about being rich. And it's this very mindset that allows them to accumulate so much wealth. Meet Mr. Ryder, a millionaire profiled in the book who worked as a welding contractor. He could have easily upgraded his lifestyle. After all, he had the money to do so. But Mr. Ryder lived modestly, investing consistently, and prioritized financial freedom over material goods. As a result, he was able to retire early and spend his time traveling the world and pursuing his passions. Not because he had a flashy income, but because he valued his financial independence over showing off his wealth. On the flip side, the book also mentions Mr. Underwood, a man with a high income but a low net worth. He spent his earnings trying to project a wealthy image, fancy cars, designer clothes, extravagant parties. Yet he was living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, and constantly stressed. His desire to look rich prevented him from being rich. This lesson is a game changer. Once you stop worrying about how others perceive your wealth and start focusing on your own financial freedom, you'll unlock the real secret to becoming a millionaire. And you'll be amazed at how much easier it becomes to accumulate wealth once you're no longer chasing status. Lesson number 5. The power of relentless savings. If there's one habit that all millionaires share, it's their commitment to saving. The average millionaire in the book saves at least 20% of their income, and many save even more. They don't just rely on high salaries or windfalls, they save to build wealth. Take the story of the Jorgensens, a middle-class couple with modest salaries. They weren't doctors or business moguls, they were a teacher and an accountant. Yet, through consistent savings and careful investment, they accumulated a multi-million-dollar net worth. Their strategy? They saved 25% of their income for over 30 years and let compound interest do the rest. Contrast this with Mr. and Mrs. Lavish, who earned more than double what the Jorgensens made, but never saved a dime. They lived paycheck to paycheck, always upgrading their lifestyle to match their income. Despite their earnings, they ended up with little to show for it. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Lesson number 6. Millionaires are often business owners or self-employed. Here's a truth that many people overlook. The majority of millionaires are self-employed or own small businesses. They understand that creating wealth isn't just about earning a high salary. It's about owning assets that generate income over time. The book highlights people like Mr. Prodigy, a small business owner who built his wealth steadily over the years. He didn't hit it big with a tech startup or inherit a fortune. Instead, he grew his wealth through owning a modest business, reinvesting profits, and slowly expanding. Over time, his small business became a wealth-building machine. In fact, the authors reveal that 2/3 of America's millionaires are self-employed, and they're not necessarily running glamorous businesses. Many are in fields like plumbing, construction, or landscaping, industries where hard work, smart management, and reinvesting profits pays off in the long run. Here's the shocking truth. Millionaires don't rely on luck or massive paychecks. They rely on habits. They live below their means, save relentlessly, and focus on financial independence over appearances. And the biggest truth is that anyone can adopt these habits. Think about it. You don't need to make 6 figures to become a millionaire. You just need to start thinking like one. It's not about the income. It's about the mindset. That's what makes this so powerful. If you've ever felt like becoming a millionaire was out of reach, we hope this video has changed your mind. The real millionaires, the ones who live next door, aren't relying on luck or lottery tickets. They're using simple, consistent habits that anyone can adopt. So what's stopping you from getting started? If you want to build wealth, focus on saving, planning, and living below your means. Just as an example, used cars that were well cared for are a much better value than new cars. Places like OfferUp.com sell furniture, electronics, and other things that cost much more if you purchase them new. Every time you save money buying something secondhand, take that extra cash and put it in your savings account. Your savings will grow faster than you might think. Remember that millionaires are not concerned with impressing others. They're interested in securing their own financial freedom. But often you can have both by buying items secondhand. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Millionaire Next Door, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button for more financial insights. See you next time on Steam Driven Success.